Hi everyone, so today is the same day that I'm recording last week's video. So this is a continuation of that. However, the message is actually taking a different turn. So I'm going to go with it. What the message is that I'm getting is a channeled message for those of you that this resonates with, where I'm feeling siphoning energy. So to further explain that, what it feels like is you're in the process of something momentous happening. It's a communication with something outside of this particular realm, and it feels alien in nature. It feels like other living individuals currently in this lifetime, their point of attention is in this particular life cycle. So they are existing currently as some physical form, and they're communicating with you, and they're giving you some sort of intelligence that is supposed to catapult you in some particular direction. I'm also hearing declaration, so it's a declaration of something that you are supposed to make the choice of kind of empowering self and others with this information. It's going to be very significant in the year 2027 as well. You're going to know a lot more information. There's going to be a collective group of people who have had similar experiences or understandings or influences or communication with this particular group. And again, 2027, you're going to know more about this, and it's going to make a lot more sense. You're going to be connected more with these individuals who have had similar experiences, and this is also going to be very impactful in the year 2037, a decade later. What they're also saying is to note what pride may mask itself as. So they're giving several examples of this where pride and humility can kind of look very similar, and yet it is actually pride holding you back from a particular thing. And so let's say, for instance, there's an individual who feels that they never get messages from God, and that they just don't. And that is a way of saying, that they are actually being prideful. They may feel there's humility, they don't feel like they're enough, maybe they feel, all of these different things, when in truth, who are you to say that you are more powerful? Even if that's not the direct message that you're saying, you are in essence communicating to yourself that you are so powerful that the creator itself, that the most omnipresent and the most powerful cannot communicate with you. You're able to block that out when that's not true. And so that example, then they're showing dogma, different religions, and how it's a beautiful framework for individuals in order to get them on a correct path potentially, but to note that that is also man constructed and could be from spoken to written to taught misinterpretations, and to follow it so strictly when in many particular cases it is meant to just again be a framework, and then you branch off and maybe bend the rules a little bit in order to really understand for self and have those experiences and understandings. It's a very personal experience with that. And so who's to say, if it doesn't come through in a religious aspect that you may not necessarily adhere to, then it's not going to come through in other ways that is going to particularly reach you, whether it's synchronicities, whether it's through numbers, whether it's through birds, whether it's whatever kind of way people that is going to reach you, that message will reach you. And so they're showing these examples of saying, don't let pride get in your way. Don't let it be masked as humility, as if you are in some ways unworthy, unavailable, just not possible for you to receive this message, because in the way that is resonant for you, it will come through. There's not a necessity for you to compare it to another individual's experience, because all that's going to do is dilute the message, confuse the message, and confuse you. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. And this is something that you're going to feel inherently that feels wrong. And so don't over rationalize something that is spiritual, because spirituality is not rational. It's beyond rational thought, right? So they're saying this as an example here, in particular, because that is also supposed to be very specific for someone to hear. But also when it comes to this alien race, this alien species, this alien communication, this insight that you're receiving, that it's going to be received to you in a particular way that is going to be, I'm hearing authoritative. It's going to stop you in your tracks, and it's going to be different for you, but it's going to be shared among others, right? So these people who share these similar experiences or communication are going to get it sometimes in different ways, but it's like you're all going to, if you talked about it amongst each other, then you would all see how it makes sense. It's like I could call you, right? I could call you on the phone, or I could text you, I could send you a video, I could meet you in person, I could tell you, you know, in dance form, like all of these different ways I could tell different people the same message. And it gives you like, but then you would only see it as that one way of hearing that message, right? But if you were all to congregate together and tell each other how the message came through, give you a bigger picture of who I am. Oh, she could text, she could dance, she could sing, she could do everything. Just kidding. But like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can see everything. And so it's like, oh, now I really see like a whole picture, the full picture of this. And that is somehow going to be significant here. I think it kind of feels like it's an answer to something. It gives you an answer to something, like an identifier of like, it feels like a roadmap or some historical thing, like some reference. There's something really important, some significant. They're showing me in like all different ways, like even looking at like relics, you know, and you can see it kind of carved in, and like I'm like touching it, you know, and I'm feeling it, and it's this feeling like now we're able to decipher that, and not only decipher it, but kind of know the backstory of it too. That's the message that I'm getting. They're actually showing a particular deck. Let me go get it. Okay, and I do feel called to say, those of you who have the star seeds, I don't know, it's like blue, then I would look into that. There's going to be a message in there for you privately that's important. If you already have it, if you don't, then it's not for you. So I said, who, the question that was being posed to me is, who is looking? Someone's looking at you. Who's looking at you? Someone's watching you. And we have stargazer. Set your sights higher. And hold on. Okay, so I'll show you this too. So here's what I got, right? Okay, these this is separate, so I'm gonna put this separate, and then this oracle, it feels like this is supposed to represent me. This is wait for important information, but it's like I'm telling you important information. This is supposed to symbolize me. And then we have follow the voice of your soul, star ancestor, stargazer, set your sights higher. So, and this is, it just feels so strongly like this is representing this energy that I was talking about, some sort of alien force. And then here is like, I really don't want to, it's kind of like, told you, like the Men in Black, but I don't remember if they're supposed to be bad guys. It's probably a mixture of bad guys and good guys. I don't know. I should look to see if I can find that and watch it. But it's like there's a mixture. As this is powerful thing is happening, it's tipping off people who aren't going to necessarily want this. This is very like really out there. So forewarning, if you have any mental things, medication first. If you're in, need to do that. Do not, if you're subscribe, is not a subscription, prescribe that. Please take your medication. But also don't doubt yourself. I don't know. Let's just go with it. Okay, let's just go with it. Okay. It's like, it's really this feeling of protecting yourself. Like you don't necessarily need to do you hear that? But the way that it was coming through was like horses, like neighing horses is like this rapid. Again, I get Dracula a lot in this, in a lot of these examples of Dracula coming through on a horse and carriage, like rapidly shoom coming in. And so it feels like, because you're communicating with these, it's very well known. It's a known thing that there are going to be darker forces, darker energies that are tipped off, and they're rushing in, kind of like Dracula. They're like, no. And also they want this information, so they want that to be imparted. Like they want to kind of intercept it, not to necessarily misdirect it away from you, but to kind of tap into it if they can, kind of like touch along the energy to gather this energy. And so that's what they want to do. And then there's also this feeling of wanting to move you, misdirect you, misguide you in some, not misguide you, because you're not going to be able to be misguided necessarily, but kind of like do something like something like some sort of self-sabotage, like somehow lower your frequency from your own self, like go do things that you really know you shouldn't be doing, that kind of thing, and just kind of self-harm in some ways in order for them to tap into your energy to get this insight, and not only get this insight, but to hopefully facilitate what it is that they want to counterattack through you. Okay? And so they're watching you. Is it, because that's the thing, is like the devil and, demons that have been demons, always demons, they know you better than you know you, right? You can't lie to the devil. You cannot lie to the devil. The devil knows, because the devil is existing in all that is. It's existing in in reality, right? We are all that is. We are of that essence. And so when we perceive ourselves as this life, this individual, these experiences, or even in past lives, and we look at it as a kind of structured timeline, or even looking at it and the way it is, where it's all happening at once, right? When we look at a timeline, it kind of just turns that way. So it's a different perspective, but it's all happening simultaneously. And it's all happening simultaneously because our attention is pointed towards it individually and collectively, constructing this with the efforts of God, but also that knowledge that has come into creation is the devil's work. The devil's work is in that narrow-mindedness into the physical creation. God created all, but gave us the facilities to create it's like the fall of innocence from Garden of Eden into Satan's world, into earth, into all of this kind of stuff, because it's a narrow vision, right? And so Satan exists beyond that vision of being able to perceive that we are narrowing our minds. So as things kind of exist and we really hyper focus on that without really seeing things as energy, and beyond the energy of seeing it as not just moving form, but solid, not solid, but like peaceful form, right, of the beginning, then that is the way that the devil can manipulate the energy, the lower energies that have been created. Energy exists because it's been created. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like molecules exist because it's been created. So things exist because the molecules have been connected to create. And so if you're looking at it as that, if you're identifying it as that, like I'm identifying this as a piece of paper, so that it could also be function, if you look at it this way, as the function of the devil, because we're looking at it as this. Or I could look at it further out and I can see, I mean, I can't physically see it, but it's made up of little tiny particles or whatever, so it's interesting that I'm saying this, and I just noticed she's also holding the apple. What is the separate message with this, though? What are you saying? See, and I'm noticing this little jewel here on her mind. It's on her head, but it's on her mind, is what they're saying. That's on her mind. That's on your mind. What's on your mind? It's almost like, you can't play both sides. You can't play the devil. You can't play the heavenly realms. You can't do both. It doesn't work that way. You're either for or against, in that sense. And so, because it's where your mind, where is your mind focusing its attention, right? And so it's just this message that I'm getting here of like, you're not to be tricked. You're not to be manipulated. You're not to be you're not to be misguided. You're not going to be misguided. You are not, it just isn't. It's kind of like this feeling of, I'm going to play the part of the human because I am of human. I am in the human experience, but I am also fully aware in addressing the fact that I am not just a human being. I am, like, what does that mean to be a human being? What does that mean to incarnate here? What was that agreement for me to have been able to focus my attention, to be able to perceive pain, right? Pain of the loss of individuals, the pain of physical pain, the pain of, maybe fear of death itself, and the processes of that. You're willingly going through these experiences. You in particular, I'm not talking in general, because there are those individuals that are kind of descended into earth and are going to continuously descend, or who are stuck in the reincarnation, because it's the limited visibility, the limited view. It's a demonic view. It's of not being able to rise above, cannot particularly do that. And so, and they're pointing out miracles and what's happening is not going to be a miracle. This connection that I'm talking about with these alien species and all of this is not a miracle. Okay, this is very much like you're just chilling with your friends. Okay, you're just talking to them, like, okay, that's cool. The miracle exists because it's something that happens that is beyond human comprehension. And when you look at miracles in this world, right, it's whatever can happen that is not going to be able to be explained by the physics of this reality. If an alien comes through and connects with us, that does not defy the physics of this reality. It may defy what we know of this reality, but it doesn't defy any sort of particular thing that we physics exist here. That's not a miracle. Okay? If something happens that seems like it defies the laws of physics here, but it is not defying the laws of physics elsewhere, again, it could just be an expansion of our understanding. And so discerning between those things, okay, is going to be important somehow. They're pointing that out, and they're saying, what about the miracle within? The miracle within exists because every person who has ever been enlightened in any particular way, or have been set on the path of enlightenment, has done so because of another individual. That individual has been able to help that person, the enlightened person, to be able to perceive that what is seemingly impossible is possible. So the miracle of the mind exists because you are being able to do things that you had limited, your self-limiting beliefs that you believed were impossible to do. And in doing so, it is your responsibility to send that out, replenish that among the world, to seed that out amongst the world. And so then they're showing me the 7 deadly sins, and they're saying that that is of the mind, right? Sloth, laziness of the mind. It's hoarding information. It's occult practices. You know, the secrets of the universe, secrets of ascension, secrets of enlightenment, secrets of God. It is to be put out. And so they're saying that that is the miracle. That is a miracle. Now, what a true miracle is of the physical reality is, again, that all-powerful, beyond humility. It's the power of God to be able to open the window of what is perceived by the collective conscious of creating, because we collectively have created these laws of physics. We have done that collectively, consciously, collectively, as spirits, as our souls, in tandem with all the other energies that have been energies always. I mean, not all of them. Some of the angels have not done that. But it's a collective creation with God and Satan heavily involved in this and in the tapestries of this world, and bound us to these things. And so a miracle beyond would be unveiling that, being able to, again, ascend past what we believe is possible, to be able to perceive ourselves as our origins as is, prior to us as identifying with our point of attention to these particular things that are just a blip in what we are perceiving, when we are always existing as is with a creator, right? So that's the message. I want to pull one more. Sage, be devoted and committed. Be devoted and committed is a main thing. You are a wise sage. You are capable of so much more than you are even currently doing right now, which may be inconceivable for you, because I'm sure you are out doing just amazing things. I wouldn't say doing the most, but I think that's supposed to be a bad thing when you're out doing the most. But you're doing the best. You're doing the best. You're doing really good. And you're going to shock yourself is what I'm hearing. You're going to shock yourself. You're going to shock yourself. You're going to shock yourself. Hopefully not literally, and, you know, very lightly. Just a few hertz. Isn't it hertz? Volts. I'm not going to pull from that deck. Okay. We'll pull from here again. Invitation and surrender. Remain positive about the future of our planet, for all is part of humanity's evolution. There is a divine order to all the chaos which you perceive in our world. Nothing will ever truly change until we learn to love and accept all as it is. Lovingly surrender your judgments and expectations, and your life will magically transform. it just feels like a message from the outside world to you of like, let it go, let it go. Let people, like, I don't know, something about other people. Just let it go. And that's one way of being wise, is not serving two masters. The serving the masters, serving two masters meaning God, and then of course Satan, but you know, people's judgments and maybe your perceived judgments place, you know, you're putting words in people's mouths kind of thing. Like, that is in a way serving another master, because you have to listen to divinely what is being told to you. That's devotion, commitment, and standing up for yourself, standing up for your beliefs. Invitation. We, your guardian angels, ask you to invite us into your heart. Talk to us anytime. Share with us your fears and concerns, as well as your joys and pleasures. There is no need to be formal, for we have known you since before the dawn of time. In fact, we know you better than you know yourself, and we love you just as you are. So I'm getting a lot of mixed messages in this. It's a repetition of understanding that your guides and guardian angels always have your back, but it's also a repetition that there are dark forces that know you very well and will look for ways to intercept in some way, and don't look their way, don't acknowledge. Always face towards your guides, always look for them, always seek for them. You can always ask for their help if you feel lost. Don't forget to just recalibrate by doing so if you feel that way. Don't allow yourself to believe that you're in it alone. And also the invitation of aliens. Bruh, the aliens are out there. Say you're ready if you're ready. Okay. That's it. Bye.